Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3 HR Advisors and sponsored by Paychex, one of the leading providers of HR, payroll, retirement, and insurance solutions for businesses of all sizes. My name is Steve Boese. Some companies are remaining committed to their DE&I programs in the face of mounting pressures. Companies like Costco, JP Chase, and Apple are defending their DE&I programs despite nationwide pushback and growing pressure from the new presidential administration. Let's examine the current tensions around corporate DE&I policies and then highlight several of these companies remaining committed to their positions on diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's been slightly more than a week since President Donald Trump began his second term, but he's already made his mark on one of the biggest workforce debates of the last several years, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, or DE&I. Trump signed an executive order last week eliminating all federal DE&I programs. And the following day, he issued an additional presidential action that directed the government agencies to go after, quote, illegal private sector DE&I preferences, mandates, policies, programs, and activities. The latest moves by the new administration will have wide-ranging repercussions, but they're not happening in a vacuum. After the Supreme Court overturned student admissions-based affirmative action at colleges and universities in 2023, it kicked off a cultural backlash against diversity initiatives. And in the subsequent months, numerous major companies have rolled back their DE&I policies, including Lowe's, Harley-Davidson, John Deere, Tractor Supply, Molson Coors, and plenty more. And just this month, other major companies, including Meta and McDonald's, have followed suit. But even as in some quarters the tide is sharply turned against DE&I, not everyone is abandoning their principles. Many major companies have come out recently to make public commitments to their diversity and inclusion programs. These are some of the organizations that have made public statements in one form or another about their continuing commitment to DE&I. First, Costco. Costco is perhaps the most notable example of a company that has stood by their DE&I policies. In mid-January, the company's shareholders overwhelmingly voted against a proposal demanding the company evaluate any potential risks posed by its DE&I programs. Costco's board of directors unanimously advised shareholders to vote against this activist proposal, and they stated that Costco shareholders ultimately rejected this proposal with 98% of the vote. Next, JP Chase. JP Chase CEO Jamie Dimon has made it clear that he is not afraid of the anti-DE&I activists who have pledged to go after the banking giant. We are going to continue to reach out to the Black community and the Hispanic community, the LGBTQ community, and the veteran community, Jamie said in a live interview with CNBC at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland on January 22nd. We're not trying to pander to any which side or any which thing. Now, if you point to something we're doing that's wrong, I'd change it, and we will make modifications going forward. But we're very proud of what we've done, and what we've done is lift up cities, schools, states, hospitals, countries, companies, and we're going to do more of the same, he said. A JP Morgan spokesperson provided additional remarks to reporters. Quote, we believe our DE&I strategies, programs, and initiatives are well conceived, rightly intended, and executed in a way that reasonably manage risks. We will continue to review our approach and our programs as the law develops further in this area and make adjustments as appropriate based on our firm's objectives and other legal requirements. Next, Apple. Like Costco, Apple's board of directors recommended in January that its shareholders reject a proposal to reconsider their DE&I initiatives. At Apple, we believe how we conduct ourselves is as critical to Apple's success as making the best products in the world, the company said in its proxy statement. We seek to conduct business ethically, honestly, and in compliance with applicable laws and regulations, and our business conduct and compliance policies are foundational to how we do business. Further, we strive to create a culture of belonging where everyone can do their best work. The proposals submitted to Costco and Apple were both put forward by a conservative think tank called the National Center for Public Policy Research. Next, there's Pinterest. Leaders at the social media platform Pinterest have publicly stood by their DE&I outlook. The company's CEO, Bill Reddy, spoke to CNBC, remarking that, quote, with things like inclusive AI, with things like diversity by default in our feed. And the company's chief legal, business, and business affairs officer also expressed how Pinterest's DE&I work will continue in the face of obstacles, writing on LinkedIn that, quote, "what makes Pinterest strong as a company and as a platform, and we will not waver in that belief." And finally, let's mention Microsoft. In December, Microsoft's Chief Diversity Officer, Lindsay Ray McIntyre, wrote on a LinkedIn post that the company's diversity and inclusion work is more important than ever. She also highlighted the organization's October 2024 Global Diversity and Inclusion Report, pointing out that 76% of Microsoft employees joined the company for both their career and for Microsoft's culture. For Microsoft, transparency and accountability are not a trend or a season, she wrote. It's important for people in support of the ongoing commitment to DE&I programs and principles in their workplace to understand how companies are either remaining committed to this work, backing away from it in the face of external pressures and a change in the political environment, or simply refuse to take a side one way or another. More and more consumers are making informed choices about their spending and loyalty to companies, based at least in part on these DE&I issues. And workers, too, consider them among the other cultural factors that determine whether to apply for a job at a company or remain with their current company. Wrestling with these issues, challenges, and opportunities was one of the top 7 workplace trends that we at H3HR Advisors identified as being the most important for HR leaders in 2025. And based on everything that has happened in just under 1 month of the new year, we think that DE&I will be top of mind for organizations for some time to come. Of course, we will continue to follow this and all the important topics and trends in the world of work here on the HR Happy Hour Media Network. That's it for the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors. Thanks for listening, and if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe.